So EVP stands for electronic voice phenomena, also known as a ghost box or spirit box. It is a device that people use in order to connect with the other side via clairaudience, which means clear hearing. You can hear voices from the other side come through and talking to you. So this is a portal, this device is an electronic portal that is usually used in house clearings. If there is a demonic entity that needs to be cleared out or chased away or whatever, you would communicate with it through this EVP. And that's where you hear the voices come through and say, "Get out of my house." And you know it's like this negative entity needs to be cleared from the home. So EVP can be pretty useful in that capacity. However, every house clearing I personally do is completely different. It could be a deceased loved one that needs to get a message across before they walk into the light. And their situation needs to be handled with, compassion and care and sensitivity to where I deliver that message and then gently guide them into the light. And 9 times out of 10, I also have to promise that loved one that I can still hear them if they walk into the light. They'll make me promise them, "Christine, you promise you'll still channel me if I walk into the light, you promise." And they'll make me, promise that because they are further away when they walk into the light and they are harder to hear, but I still can communicate with them. Another thing is, what if it's, somebody in the house actually attracting negative entities because they themselves hate God? And then that problem needs to be diagnosed because it's actually an inhabitant of the house attracting those negative entities. So each house clearing needs to be diagnosed and treated in a different way. So that's where EVP kind of has its limitations because you are the most likely to pick up negative entities with that. You can pick up deceased loved ones, people who haven't walked into the light, people that are lost, but how do you know it's a deceased loved one and not a negative entity coming through? It's going to be difficult for you to decipher, via the EVP. So that's where it's like you need to be a little bit careful during a house clearing, and it's kind of a fine balance there. And you need to have that discerning nature so that you can diagnose the problem. Another thing is that these things are used as parties. It's like, hey, bust out the EVP, bust out the Ouija board, let's party with some demons and negative entities. And I understand that. That's fine. You get drunk, you want to party with the other side, and like, oh, does the other side really exist? Does the paranormal really exist? Is this legit? Is this for real? I get it. If you've never connected before yourself, EVP is going to be a fun thing for you to use, but I'm just asking you to be careful with what information comes through because of the importance that I'm afraid you're going to place on it. If you are getting information coming through via this device from the other side, I am concerned about you putting more importance on that information than it truly deserves. So the thing is, people, if they rely on this for information from their spirit guides or for connecting with their deceased loved ones, don't. That's basically what I'm saying is, please don't. Please keep it to house clearings and parties and entertainment purposes only. Because as soon as you start going into this territory where you use it for personal info and guidance, should I marry this guy? Should I quit my job or whatever? Or connecting with your deceased loved ones, you're going into dangerous territory. Why? Because this portal is open to anyone and anything. There's no screen on it. There's no filter. You just let the flies in with this device. That is my own personal concern. Why? Because I had dinner last night with a friend who went on an EVP website and supposedly talked to his dad. It wasn't his dad. It was a Joker spirit. Now, luckily, my friend knew the difference because he was very discerning. What about everybody else that goes on that website? They're not going to know the difference. They're going to think they're really talking to their dad. Why? This is the crappy part, you guys. Because of Joker spirits. Joker spirits are negative entities. And guess what these chuckleheads are? They're all knowing. Is your mom's name Janet? They know that. Were you like a huge swimmer in college? They know that too. Are you sensitive about your weight? They also know that. So these Joker spirits are going to be able to come through via the EVP and say, "Honey, it's me, it's your mom, it's Janet. How are you? I know you're not happy with your husband right now. I think you should leave him." right? And you're really not talking to your mom. You're talking to a Joker spirit who is all-knowing, bored, and they would love nothing more than to mess with you and completely throw you off path. Why? Because they have ill intent. They want to do that. And because you have this EVP, they can. So they can easily come through because you just invited them in through this device. So this is my concern. This is the territory that I get really nervous about and turn into the protective mother hen, wanting to create this video and just kind of warning everybody to be careful. So this is the territory that just scares me because of the conversation I had with my friend. I'm like, I gotta make a video about this. This is freaking me out. So I just wanted to kind of let everyone know that this exists so that you are careful with those EVPs and that you do use them in more of a lighthearted nature, take it with a grain of salt, and more for entertainment purposes. I would feel better knowing that you were using it as proof of the other side, proof of the existence of the paranormal, as opposed to actual guidance and connecting with your deceased loved ones, because it's not 100% something you can trust. It's just a portal. So, you know, before I get on the phone with you, you know, I have these checks and balances that I have in place to make sure I'm connecting with the good guys. So that's why this device doesn't have that. And so that's why I just wanted to let you know that it has its place. It has its use. But please be careful when you go into, you know, these other territories. Okay? So that's all I wanted to say. In the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.